What it do, YouTube? Hello, my children of creation. This is Maverick McLaurin reporting to you live from Maverick the Enigma Studios. And I want to do something a bit different with y'all today. I want to start by having grown man conversations with some of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because I know there's some people who out there who haven't been diving into the manosphere that I have been. Even though it's a very big community, there's still some people who are quite lost on it. But if you pay attention to my channel activity, you know I've been ingesting this movement entitled the Red Pill Movement. Within it, there's so many other movements, but I'm not going to get into that today. Basically, all I want you guys to take away from this is this. Before I get into what I have presented, let me put a disclaimer here. If you are used to misinformation and want to escape, this is the video for you. However, if you refuse to listen to the truth and listen to the facts that I'm about to spit here, that I have wrote, this video is not for you. If you stuck around long enough here, if you made it past this point, I congratulate you. Without further ado, let's get into one of my power poems. This is Power Poetry 101. This poem is entitled The Broken Man. The broken man. Who is he? What is he? What made him go from a man to a broken man? Here's how. He grows up appropriately by American standards. 1 or 2 parent home. He's taught to be himself. He's taught to treat the girls right, go to school, get a good job, and live the American dream. He is taught to have a good rapport, and he'll achieve professional heights. Was he taught this by his parents, his society, or could it be influences from both? In most cases, you just never know. But as he molds and as he grows, he begins to realize something. The world as he knew isn't the world he's living in. In fact, it is the polar opposite. He was set up by the Matrix to live a life unreal, unoriginal, and worst of all, indoctrinated. How did he get to this point, you ask? Here's how. People at his job treat him like a lapdog, and he isn't happy with the small raises with no promotions. He is a great student at school, but only realizes his degree is only going to get him so far. He realizes how imperative it is to be financially literate because the school has wasted his time not teaching him that when he needs it desperately in his future to avoid being in debt and being broke. He realizes his belief in God was real, but the churches taught him what he wanted to know before he read his Bible were fake. He realizes all he needed to learn about his Father in heaven was the Bible and someone to help him understand it, be it a minister or be it a church. He realizes no matter of how much good he does to his known world continues to underappreciate him and hate him. He realizes no matter how good he treats a girl, his chances of her sticking around long enough to experience love are very slim. Why? Because the men she's attracted to bear her sexual and physical desires that she desperately craves for. But she won't tell you that. He realizes that in his known world, he is either a necessity or a liability to the people around him. Once he did that, he started separating the sheep from the goats. This was his beginning of his escaping from the matrix of false hope religions, working dead-end jobs, degrees not promising him anything, women mistreating him and underappreciating his kindness and mistaking it for mere weakness. Men making fun of him and laughing at him because of how different he is from the rest of the world. The media misperceiving him as someone who isn't free to make their own decisions because of his color. All of this concocted his red pill rage. These realizations broke him piece by piece throughout all 6 paths of pain. Trial after trial, tribulation after tribulation, adversity after adversity, heartbreak after heartbreak, hate after hate. Hate became more vibrant in his life than love, and it melded him. It consumed him to the point where he became broken. You must ask, If he's so broken, how'd he fix himself? Here's how. He cut out the negativity in his life. He quit associating himself with people less intelligible with him. He quit pedestalizing others because he realized that if he kept doing it, they had no choice but to keep looking down at him. He quit going to modern churches that favor traditions over the Bible and instead went to Bible study classes to get closer with God. He quit putting others' needs above his own. He quit caring about what others thought of him. He left this dishonorable position at work after finishing college in order to go to trade school and pick up a skill because his pops told him that he'd always be in work with a skill. He made a lot of money, both a Roth IRA and a retirement account, plus an investment account to ensure his constant financial stability. He shared his knowledge over the internet, along with his gaming hobby, and got monetary gain from it. He kept his necessities and forcibly erased his liabilities. He soon enough got to a point in his trade career where he wanted to take a good vacation. He decided to leave the modern world he now knew in order to experience a new one. The culture shock blew him right away. The language, the food, the nightlife, the mode of living, the women, the value of his dollars in the new land, it all blew him away. And sooner or later, once he adapted to this new world, he experienced one thing he never got to in his home world. That was love. Love in exchange for being himself, for not having to put on a mask, for not having to front or floss, not having to be overwhelmingly confident, not having to jump over hoops and bounds. He realizes when he is here in this new world with love, he understands that all he sought after came to fruition. The way love appreciated him, the way love valued him on high, the way love worked in this new world was different than his home world. And it was a love that didn't feel like it was temporary, nor did it feel like a liability. A love that didn't feel fake, a love based on what's faithful and true, a love that made him never want to go back home. Not to say he didn't go back home though. That love made him understand the hatred that was vibrant in his heart. It was subsided. Everything was at peace with him. Nothing was out of his reach. Nothing out of his control that he can worry about, because his mind was set on bigger things. All he sought was peace. He worked hard for most of it, and having his love around was the icing on his cake of peace. This is how the broken man fixed himself. This is how he became the man. If you enjoyed this unordinary spoken word piece I just performed for y'all, please feel free to leave a like, leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm gone out this mug. Peace and love, y'all.